What's up everybody? In this video, we are going to connect to a Wi-Fi network. In the previous lesson, we looked at loading some of the sample code for the Wi-Fi S3 library. Let's continue using the pre-existing code. This time, let's connect to a local network. In the Arduino IDE, click File, Examples, Wi-Fi S3, Connect with WPA. This will open a piece of code that connects to a router. If you look at the code, you will see that there are two tabs open. Click on the Arduino Secrets tab. In this tab, enter the SSID and password for your network. Click on the Connect with WPA tab. Upload the code to your Arduino. Open the serial monitor. You should see your Arduino attempt to connect to the SSID you listed in your Arduino Secrets, and if you have the correct credentials, you should see that the Arduino has successfully connected to your router. The BSSID is listed. If you look at the conversation we had with Claude in the previous lesson, the BSSID is the MAC address of the router. You also see that there is an IP address and MAC address listed for the Arduino. Start a new conversation with Claude and find out about IP addresses. Open a browser tab and load your selected AI. I'm using Claude. Prompt the AI with, "What is an IP address?" Based on the response, it looks like the Arduino has an IPv4 address. Let's get the AI to tell us more information. Reply asking for additional information. The additional information has provided us with some more details about networking and how devices connect. Let's look at the types of IP addresses. An IP address can be static or dynamic. If it is a static address, it is permanent and will never change. A dynamic address will change. This could be each time you connect to a network. If we look at a router, it often has a static IP address of 192.168.1.1. Anytime a device connects to the router, it will assign a dynamic IP address to the connected device. In more complex networks, you can assign a static address to devices. An IP address can be public or private. A public IP address is assigned to you by your internet service provider. You can see this if you open a browser and ask, "What is my IP address?" Private IP addresses tend to be addresses on your local network. Let's see if we can find a static public IP address. Reply with the prompt, "What is Google's IP address?" The response says something about pinggoogle.com. Reply asking for more information about pinging. Based on the response, open Terminal on Mac or Command Prompt on PC. Type pinggoogle.com and hit return. You will see an IP address pop up and some statistics related to how much data has been transferred and the speed of the transmission. Copy this IP address and look it up on Google. You will see that the IP belongs to Google. You can try pinging other addresses and looking up their IP addresses too. If you have a personal website, it will show you the IP address is owned by the company that hosts your website. Let's try pinging the Arduino. In the Terminal or Command Prompt window, type ping and enter the address of the Arduino that is listed in the serial monitor. You should notice that the time is slower compared to Google. Even though your Arduino is right next to you, it does not have the same processing power and speed as a Google server. I'm also seeing a request timeout when I ping the Arduino. Let's find out more about this. Reply and ask about the request timeout. Based on the responses, I'm going to assume the Arduino is overloaded. This is something to recognize. The Arduino from a connectivity standpoint isn't going to process loads of data at the speed of other services you might be familiar with. Let's try one last thing. Unplug your Arduino and try pinging it again. Now all I see is a request timeout. This is what I should see because my Arduino is no longer connected to the network. If you plug it in, you should see it can be pinged when you connect. At the end of this video, you should be able to connect your Arduino Uno R4 Wi-Fi to a router and ping it on your network. You should also have a better understanding of IP addresses and the different types.